You can get someone to get the right grip stance and back lift without too much chit chat. Bat on the floor, pick it up as if it's an axe, hands together, touching. They must be sort of touching, just saying some of the books apart, but apart to some kids is that, to others it's that. We're better off saying together, and they can get into a good position with their stance. Another way is to grab the back with your right hand if you're right-handed, shake hands with your left hand with the handle, slide your hands together, another good way, or lodge it on your thigh and just do that and that. But at the end of the day, the bottom hand V should go down the back. The top hand V shouldn't really be in line with the bottom hand V, which is talked about in the books. It should be slightly to the side, which gives you a better elbow position in your drives. If you have your top hand around the front, you start opening up and patting the ball back straight and getting a bit too square on and struggling to hit on the offside. So when the bat's picked up, it should be a straight line between there and the bat, slightly open face, but really you need to bend 90 degrees in that forearm, in that elbow joint, as opposed to cocking the wrists. Okay, so diamond shape is the key word to say to the kids. There's a diamond shape there, my hands past my back pocket. And the back lift needs to go, the back swing, over the off stump. To pick it up deadly straight is very difficult to do all the time. When you get overexcited and want it to ball hard, it goes round behind you. Most of the top players pick it up out there and it comes to about here and comes through straight. You can play every shot from there, you can only play offside shots from here. Forward defence, playing the ball, play it in front of your pad, still let the ball come but make contact just in front of the pad, bat and pad together. Head needs to be further out than the front foot. Bottom hand needs to be that loose that you could probably lodge a ball in it after the shot. In fact, that's quite a good exercise to get them batting with the ball in their hand. Front foot drives. The guys need to make contact with the ball slightly forward of their front foot. They can let it come. If they hit it out in front, they can free their arms and swing through the line of the ball. And they should be looking to check the shot and then turn their hands afterwards. Nobody actually uses that last bit as part of the shot. It's just like an add-on. So get them to check and then turn it. But it is crucial to make contact just out in front. This is wrong, and you're going to have a limited player who's actually all bottom handed and struggles to score freely. Someone's bowling well up. I wouldn't be too keen to teach kids this shot until you can teach them the front foot and the back foot defence and all the other shots really well. Not a good shot to teach them. The sweep is one to shy away from, but if you work on the front foot defence, front foot drives, your back foot defence and back foot drives, and get those right, you can talk about those other shots and the rest will fall into place. Back foot, a lot of people tend to teach this. There's no such shot as that. Really, you should be playing a back foot drive straight, through mid-off, or leave it. If it's a wide one, then you might cut it. But to do this is an out shot. Back foot drive, if the ball's straight, I'm going to hit it there. If it's a bit more on my off stump, I'm just going to go over a little bit more and still play it reasonably straight. So when I actually turn my shoulder to play it a bit squarer, the cue in my head is turning the shoulder. I could probably, that's the cue for me to leave the ball. So leave, and play straight. If it's on your legs, you're bound to open your body position slightly, and that foot's going to point more there, so you can get at the ball. If you get too sideways on, do this and you could get hit. Left armers bowling, need to open your stance slightly, so they're playing the ball back up to where it came from. Common fault with a lot of kids when they're batting, they tend to stand so sideways on like this, head and shoulders up the wicket, but the shoulders so far round that the bat's behind them, and they end up getting squared up. And a lot of coaches will say, you're too squared up, get more sideways. But the source of the problem is because they're too sideways in the first place. They need to maybe open up a bit so their head's looking down the wicket. So now the bat's in the right place. That's easy to play the shot. If they're too sideways on, they turn so they can get the bat at the ball, and that's when they get squared up and get caught behind. Same with front foot drives. Get it too sideways on, that's why they open up and play inside out. A lot of lads in the back lift tend to pick the bat up, and this drifts away from here, which means they're going to want to play on the offside. They get bowled through the gate. They need to keep the forearm in, nice tight line, back there, going straight. And as we've just practiced the shot now, the on drive needs to be pointing your toe, very short stride, let the ball come, hit through mid on. The back foot is going to tip in as well, but you certainly aren't going to go, because that's very dated and doesn't work. Best practice in the world is one-handed driving, both for top hand, for top front foot shots and back foot shots. Don't believe in all this. You see some top coaches doing it, but 90% of the time you spend trying to tell kids not to use too much bottom hand. So if you do this sort of thing, you're going against what you're trying to teach them. So forget about the bottom hand. Even off the back foot, people say punch through with the bottom hand. Yes, it might come into the shot, but you really don't need to talk about it. Just talk about the top one to keep it good shape, especially on leg stump, because the minute they do that, the elbow comes down. The top hand. Slow feeding was good. Slow on the machine as well, so you get them to really wait for the ball and stretch, elongate their hitting zone and finish with a nice full face of the bat. If it's too quick on a flat wicket, they can hit it and break their wrist quickly and still think they've played a good shot. When they play on this, it doesn't work. One other key thing, trying to shy away from telling young kids to go into the gap here and go into the gap there, because in this country, on the wickets we play on, it's counterproductive. They'll just go in and get out straight away. I think you'll find a lot of the top players will play with a full face to the bat. There might be a slight turn here, but they don't go like this and like that. Maybe they'll drop it here and run. They'll be aware that where they stood over there, or they'll smack it straight back over the bowler's head, which is a good safe shot. That's what I think, you know.
Okay.
When you're playing your drives, try to think about to get your foot to the ball, the head's got to go first. Head goes, foot goes. If my head's further out than my foot, I can reach a long way. If my foot goes first, I'll end up being sat back on the crease and I'll probably hit the ball up in the air and find it difficult to drive. I'm also sat back at the crease playing off the back foot. I'll have my weight too far back. Even when you're going back, your head will be forward and you'll push off that front foot to get back. Parallel if possible, off stump, middle stump, turn in, on leg stump. Yeah. Some people are quite confused about when you make your movement and when you pick the bat up. Basically, there are two bat lifts. Some people will go to here, and then when they want to actually make the movement, they'll go again. Some people will pick up, and as they get to the top of their backswing, they'll move backwards, or they'll move forwards, but nobody will be going like that, or like that, because how do you know where the ball's going to be pitched? You'll pick the bat up here, you'll pick up where the ball's being pitched, then as you move, you'll just grab that a little bit more. Quite a key thing. So.